Hey there, tech explorers. Imagine a world without smartphones. No selfies, no music streaming, no Google Maps to guide your way. How would you even save a photo or listen to your favorite tunes? It sounds crazy, right? But believe it or not, there was a time before these pocket-sized wonders, and people still found clever ways to store information. Get ready for a wild ride through the history of storage devices, from clunky contraptions to the mind-blowing tech we have today. Think of it like this. We're going on a time-traveling road trip starting way back when computers were bigger than your living room. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of how we went from punching holes in paper to storing billions of bytes in the cloud. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. Our journey begins with the granddaddy of data storage, the punch card. Picture this. It's the 1800s and you're staring at a piece of cardboard with holes punched in it. No, it's not a secret code, though it might as well be. It's a punch card, the earliest form of digital storage. These cards were used to program those massive room-sized computers we talked about. Each hole in the card represented a specific piece of data. Imagine writing a message where each letter is punched into a different spot on the card. That's essentially how it worked. These cards were fed into machines that could read the pattern of holes and process the information. Fun fact, did you know that the first computer programmer was a woman named Ada Lovelace? She wrote algorithms for a mechanical computer called the analytical engine, which used punch cards for input. Pretty amazing, huh? Hold on tight, because our next stop takes us to the world of magnetic tape, a technology that revolutionized the way we store and access data. From punch cards, we jump to the era of magnetic tape. Think of those big, bulky reels you see in old movies. These tapes were coated with a magnetic material that could store data, just like how a cassette tape stores music. These tapes were a big deal because they could store way more information than punch cards. Plus, they were reusable. You could record over old data, which was a huge advantage. Imagine having to use a new punch card every time you wanted to save something new. Talk about a waste of cardboard. Fun fact. The first commercially available computer, the UNIVAC one, used magnetic tape for data storage. These tapes were massive, about half the size of a refrigerator. But our journey doesn't stop there. Get ready for the arrival of a true game changer, the floppy disk. Say hello to the floppy disk, the rock star of data storage in the 1980s and 90s. These squares of magic, about the size of a coaster or a small pizza box, were portable, affordable, and revolutionized how we shared information. Remember those old computers with a slot that looked like it could swallow your lunch money? That was for floppy disks. You could save your work, your games, even your secret diary entries on these handy disks, and carry them around with you. Fun fact, the first floppy disks were actually 8 inches in diameter. That's bigger than your phone. It wasn't until later that they shrunk down to the 3.5-inch size we're more familiar with. Our journey through the evolution of storage devices is far from over. Up next, we delve into the realm of hard drives, the heavy lifters of the computer world. Floppy disks were great, but what if you needed to store a lot more information? Enter the hard drive, the workhorse of data storage. So, imagine a stack of spinning platters coated with magnetic material, all tucked inside your computer. That's a hard drive in a nutshell. These spinning platters are like super-fast record players, with tiny magnetic heads reading and writing data at incredible speeds. Hard drives allowed us to store operating systems, applications, and huge amounts of data, all in one place. Oh, and here's a fun fact. The first hard drive, invented in 1956, was the size of 2 refrigerators and could hold a whopping, wait for it, 5 megabytes of data. To put that in perspective, a single photo on your phone today can be thousands of times larger. From spinning platters, we move on to something shiny, compact, and capable of holding entire movies, the era of CDs and DVDs. Remember those shiny discs that we used to store music, movies, and even software? Those were CDs and DVDs, and they were a revolution in multimedia storage. Instead of magnetic storage, these discs used lasers to read tiny bumps on their surface, which represented digital data. CDs brought us crystal-clear audio, while DVDs ushered in the era of high-quality video and gaming. Suddenly, we could carry around entire movies in our pockets, something that seemed impossible just a few years earlier. Fun fact, The very first commercially available CD, released in 1982, featured a recording of Claudio Arrau performing Chopin waltzes. Talk about a classical start to a digital revolution. Get ready to shrink things down again, because our next stop brings us to the world of pocket-sized storage powerhouses. USB drives. Remember the days of carrying floppy disks or CDs around? Well, say hello to the USB drive, a tiny device that could store gigabytes of data and fit on your keychain. These little guys were a game changer for portability and convenience. You could easily transfer files between computers, back up your important data, and even carry around your entire music library without breaking a sweat. Fun fact: the first USB flash drive was invented in 1999 and had a storage capacity of a mind-blowing 8 megabytes. Today you can easily find USB drives that can hold terabytes of data. That's 1,000,000 times more storage than those early models. But the evolution of storage technology never stops. Hold on tight, because we're about to enter the world of lightning-fast storage with SSDs. As our need for speed and storage capacity grew, SSDs or solid-state drives emerged as the superheroes of the data storage world. Unlike hard drives with their spinning platters, SSDs use flash memory, similar to what's in your smartphone, to store data. This means no moving parts, which translates to faster access times, quicker boot-ups, and a significant performance boost for your devices. SSDs are like the Ferraris of the storage world: sleek, fast, and incredibly efficient. Fun fact: did you know that some high-end SSDs can transfer data at speeds over 7 gigabytes per second? That's fast enough to transfer an entire HD movie in just a few seconds. But what if you could access your data from anywhere, without carrying any physical storage device at all? That's where our final destination comes in: the cloud. Welcome to the future of data storage, the cloud. Imagine a giant invisible network of data centers that store your files, photos, music, and more. That's the cloud in a nutshell. With cloud storage, you can access your data from any device with an internet connection. It's like having a digital locker in the sky. Cloud services have revolutionized the way we work, collaborate, and share information, making our data more accessible and convenient than ever before. Fun fact: the term cloud computing has been around since the 1990s, but it wasn't until the late 2000s that cloud storage services like Dropbox and Google Drive gained widespread popularity. So, there you have it. A whirlwind tour through the incredible evolution of storage devices. From humble punch cards to the boundless potential of the cloud, it's amazing to see how far we've come. What do you think the future holds for data storage? Share your thoughts, memories, and questions in the comments below.